Hi, my name is Robert Stickles. I am the author of I Heal My Crohn's Colitis. 30 years ago, I had Crohn's colitis. I was 150 pounds. Um, I've had two Hickman catheters. I ate complete bowel rest for weeks on end, just eating out of a IV tube. I took prednisone. I've taken all the fancy drugs that are out there, and it finally got to a point where they said they were going to give me a colostomy bag, which I said no to, and that's the beginning of my travels with where I am today. That was about 30 years ago, and in that time, um, I live a symptom-free life. I can't tell you if I have Crohn's or not anymore because basically I don't get a colonoscopy. But every morning I get up and have a solid bowel movement and I go on with my day. I do not have cramps. I have nothing like that. That is my definition of being healed because you're not trying to reinvent your body. What you're trying to do is get through life symptom free or not sick or having the symptoms of Crohn's or IBS. That being said, I am looking at what the treatments that are out there, and they haven't changed. Everybody's saying it's diet, or they have a new medicine, or it's a virus, or genetics, or whatever. Now they're starting to say that stress is a little bit part of it. Well, I will tell you from experience and what I've done. My diet back then, when I was sick, just because I enjoyed the flavor, was family packs of chicken, root beer soda, and ring dings. That was my diet. And the reason why that was my diet was because when you could eat, you ate things that tasted good so you could fill your stomach. I did not. I did not eat well when you packed on the food and this and that and tried to eat, a baked potato with cream because you were afraid of the fiber or something like that. I ate when I could eat because basically I didn't eat a lot because it never stayed in or it never stayed down. Um, I don't like getting into the war stories of my sickness, but literally I was eating out of a bag for 6 to 8 weeks twice. Hickman catheters and stuff like that on all types of drugs. And you got to a point that you ate what you could eat. And I didn't care what it was. I don't care if it was, you know, chocolate. If chocolate worked, that was great. I remember one day I took some vitamins and I puked them up. So that's where I come from. Um, the thing that I am trying to get across is that I'm seeing a lot of emphasis going back on diet. And I got to ask you a simple question. Are you eating not to have symptoms, or are you eating to cure yourself? And is a limiting diet that limits the nutrition and what you eat, does that actually work? I found it didn't. So I never did it. I eat everything from salads to hot stuff to chili to soups to whatever. I do not limit my diet at all. There's only one thing that I find that I have a problem with, and that is green peppers. Green peppers. I can eat red peppers, but I can't eat green peppers. I think there's something in the pepper that actually, but I also had the same problem when I was, before I had Crohn's. But one thing I do know is that if I wanted to actually change the way I live and get stressed out, I bet you 10 to 1, no matter what I ate, I'd get my Crohn's back. Stress is the key. I don't know how many times I can explain that to people, but for I've talked to people all over the world. I'm talking to a few people now, some in Australia, Croatia, Europe, and these people are gotten to a point in their life that nothing else has worked, and then all of a sudden they email me they get brave, email me and say, hey, uh, can you help me? And when I say that, help is about saying, hey, I want you to change your thought. I want you to look at something differently. Shed a new light on it. I want you to just try it. Just shed a new light on your illness. Listen to me. Listen to meditation. Listen to music that puts you in a meditative state. Try to find rules to deal with stress better. Look into it. I will guarantee your life will change. There is 3 brains in the body. There's one in the gut, there's one in the heart, and one in the skull. They all have the same components called ganglia. What happens is that I'm going to ask you something. If you swallow your stress, you swallow it. It has no place to go. It can show up as heartburn. It can show up as the runs, IBS, colitis. If you swallow enough of it, if it has no place to go, what is it going to do? It's going to fester. It's going to fester. You can blame all the food in the world. You can take all the medicine in the world, and you can blame the medicine for the side effects. But I'm telling you, it's stress. I'm going to ask you something. I want you to honestly to yourself. Last time you had a flare-up, what was going on in your life? And I want you to start 2 months back from when you got the flare-up. I want to ask yourself, what was going on in my life at that point, that time? Ask yourself. Do yourself a favor. This video or this movie could be irritating the heck out of you, but I want you to ask. I want you to see the correlation. Try it. Where were you? Where were you 2 months beforehand, before you had your flare-up, or your first flare-up? Where was your first flare-up? What were you starting in your life? Take a look at your parents or the people who raised you. How did they deal with stress? I am telling you, it's all wrapped up into one. Your diet is great to heal. The healing part is eating probably better food. It's not the cure. It's just letting you have less symptoms until all of a sudden another thing happens in your life that puts you over the edge. Colitis starts. Please, please listen to me. Just try it. Thank you very much. My name is Bob Stickles. I am the author of I Healed My Crohn's Colitis.